Hi, good morning. In our textbook of Holt, there are many subjects that might come or might be shown in SAT text or SAT exam, such as the significant zeros and the significant figures. Usually, such these questions of significant figures and significant zeros um, are shown maybe one or two times in the last maybe 10 cycles. But it's worth it to just remind you about these significant figures rules. Rule number one, any zero appearing between non-zeros digits are significant. For example, 2, 0, 2. This is significant. 2.02, also the 0 is significant. So these numbers here are depending on the dot, the decimal point. Now, if you want to count them, for example, if we are speaking about 50.8, then I have 1, 2, and 3. 3 significant figures. Now, for the second rule, if I have, for example, 8, 5, 0, 0, 0, 9, then these three zeros are inside the number itself, so we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 significant figures. Let's go for a new rule. If I have zeros before or after the decimal, the dot, like this, then this is not counted and this is not counted. We count only this and this. So we should have two significant figures. Let's assume, for example, I have 0.0000001, or let's say 4, for example. So this not counted, this one also, this one also, this one also not counted, also this one not counted, only I have one, so one significant figure. Let's go for the third rule. If zeros at the end of a number and to the left right of a decimal point are significant. So let me say 89.00. Actually, when you put the dot here, that's meaning you are concerned about the zeros in this area. And when you put two zeros like this one, that's meaning you want the reader or the scientist or the student or me or anybody else to know that these two zeros are very important for you. So, like the gold balance in our country Jordan, the goldsmith, they want to show here integers, and they will show you here 3 zeros to gain the most weight and the most price that they can get as a sellers. So for example, if I have 80 gram, this 20 gram for a certain quantity of gold, and assume this is 690. So this number has 5 significant figures, and this number, it has 4 significant figures. Let's take another example. Let's assume that you have a number like 19 dot 0, 0, 0, 0 meter cube. Because you put the decimal here, the dot here, and you mention 4 zeros after it, that's meaning you want the reader to understand that these 4 zeros are very important for you. So the number of significant figures are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 significant figures. Let's go for the last rule. Now, if you have a number, for example, like 3000 meter, and in this area there is no dot, no decimal. So that's meaning one of two things. It may contain from 1 to 4 significant figures, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, or 1, or 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4, for example. Depending on how many zeros are placeholders. For measurements given in this text, assume that this 3000 meter has one significant figure. Let's assume this one. So it has one significant figure. Now, if you add a dot here, that's meaning you have 4 significant figures. And by this, you should be ready to answer any question it might come inside external test regarding the significant figures. An example, let's assume that we have 40.1. So I have 3 significant figures. Let's assume I have 1, 0, 0, 1. I have here 4 significant figures. Let's assume I have 0.01 or 4, for example. I have 1 significant figure. Let's assume that you have 9.00. Then I have here 3 significant figures. And last but not least, let's assume you have 200. Then if it is only 200 without any zeros here in this area, and this without any decimal here and with 2 zeros, then I have only 1 significant figures. And if it is 200 with dot, then I have here 3 significant figures. I hope this small and simple demonstration will help you to understand and answer the test or the SAT test question regarding this subject. It might come in any cycle, and in some cycles, yes, there are questions of how many significant figures there are in this number or that number. Hope to see you in our next film. This is mentioned in chapter 2 in Holt textbook. Thank you and bye bye.